Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Derp your Hooves. So, today, I feel like taking you guys on the best possible VR flight that I can in the Bell 407. So, keep in mind that we have all of our assists off, and again we are in VR today. So here we are flying along in Tokyo, leaving from Tokyo Haneda Airport, and I reassure you that we are in the Derp Your Hooves themed helicopter, and we're also in all players mode. So we have live traffic and live players, and we just need to get down this runway. I know that wasn't the best takeoff, as we just kind of mosey on over the runway and trying to do it as properly as possible. A little bit of lean, and I'm sure that you can see that the frames are skipping, and I'm hoping that there's not too much lag for you guys with the VR. Now, it's the live player mode, and it's also that we're in Tokyo Haneda, and it always seems to have issues with lagging, especially in VR. And we've got our, screen recording software going in the background, so that I can give you this VR video. So there's going to be a little bit of lag. And hopefully some of that will die down the farther away we get from the airport. So we took off from the airport, but there is an aftermarket, well, not aftermarket, it's a third-party helipad not too far from the airport, and you've probably seen me take off from it before. I got it from flightsim.to, and we're just gonna fly on over to it. And again, it's kind of tricky flying this thing with all of the assists off, and I'm not complaining. I'm just enjoying the difficulty of it. So I know it's not too much farther. Ish. And here's one of the beautiful things about VR, is that we're not restricted. There it is. Is that we're not restricted to what we can do. Now, on my end, I'm getting a little bit of lag, but nothing.
Delta Echo Romeo Papa minus Yankee, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Tokyo Tower, Derp Y Delta Echo Romeo Papa, minus Yankee frequency change.
But nothing that really bothers me. However, you might be getting some more. But recording from a VR headset is kind of an exact science. And I'm kind of monkeying around with it. Trying to get some good settings here for every pony. This is kind of why I wish I had my throttle on my collective. So we wouldn't have to do this. But we just kind of drop. And then give it more throttle. And come on in. So, wow. So there'd definitely be some advantages to binding the throttle on the collective to my actual physical throttle that I'm using as a collective. And let's bring her on in. So these little heliports are pretty good, especially if you want to practice your takeoffs and landings without careening off the side of a building. And then that way you can practice at a heliport. And remember that when you are flying a helicopter, you don't want to hog the runway of the airport, and you don't want to hog the runway of the heliport if it has one. It's nice to just kind of get your little helibutt to parking. And so we just carefully taxi. This is where all your trim settings come in. And this is where I may or may not crash. And you want to keep it kind of low-ish. So these are great if you want to practice. Now, if you want to practice in VR, like how I'm doing it, again, it does make it more immersive, but it also makes it, see, we're going to clonk it, but it also makes it just a little easier, in my opinion, to be able to fly and maneuver this thing. Now, see, I'm not straight. So I could straighten out a little bit if I just give a little throttle and I'm just careful and I just work those rudder pedals. I can straighten myself out a little bit, and that's acceptable. And so that's how you do that. So there you go. Quick VR helipad flight in the Bell 407. Thank you for watching Derp Your Hooves, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the skies.